Oh my god, did I just lose all my... In talking to you, I literally just lost all my questions right now.
Well, you're going to have to improvise now, dude.
Hey everybody, so this is Q2Q at OSP, and I am delighted, no, humbled to be with Herbert Siguenza. Hey, what's up, Herbert?
Hey, how are you?
As we continue...
I'm here in my room. I got my Pablo Picasso in the back, or a phony Pablo Picasso.
I know. I was about to say, if that's a real Picasso, you might not want to publicize that it's a real Picasso.
I might not want to reveal
some people interested.
Right. No, it's as you know, it's part of my show, Weekend with Pablo Picasso, which I did at New Village Arts last year, and which seems like 10 years ago now. And,
I know we are still in March. We're filming this. No, today's
April. No, it's
1st.
April Fools. Yeah, it's April now.
First of all, thank you so much, Herbert, for joining us here at Q2Q.
Sure.
I mean, I've had a couple of, I think, we originally met back in 2014. Talk about kind of ways away now. We've known each other for 6 years, my brother. Wow.
Yeah, we worked together. You came up with Amigos del Rep. You would help us with readings, and I said, this guy's pretty talented. And little by little, he started getting cast. I guess the first show you were cast in was my El Henry, right? In 2015.
Yeah, that I remember. I played Mago, and I had to wear a 40-pound cape that the amazing Jennifer JBG created for us, and that was my first professional show here in San Diego.
And you had a little puppet, Mago, little puppet that spoke too, right? Well, yeah, man, you've come a long way. Then after that, you were in a couple of my shows, Manifest Destinitis, and then you were in recently in Bad Hombres, Good Wives. There you go. Oh yeah, and Beach Town. Yes, Beach Town. How can I? You were the mayor. I mean, the city councilman.
But we're here to talk about you. I could talk about me all the time, but I love how you want to talk more to me. But I want to talk to you. We're gonna play this quick little game that my first person played, and I think it gets to for the three people that don't know who you are here regionally in San Diego. This will get them to know who you are a little more. Everyone I think knows you.
Sure.
But let's get right to it. It's called 15 to Places. Cool. Number one, give us your full name.
Herbert Orlando Siguenza. Orlando. Yeah, I was named after the first baseman of the San Francisco Giants, Orlando Cepeda.
Back in what? Wait, I know. I was born in 1980, and I'm a huge baseball fan.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, first baseman.
Orlando. Really? Jack Clark was where I left off.
Yeah. No, this guy's I'm talking late 50s, 60s, early 60s.
Does anyone call you Orlando?
No.
All right, these are quick. Let's keep going. Number two, give us your favorite play, movie, and book.
Well, let me see. A movie, I think Cinema Paradiso is up there for me. It's very romantic, very nice. Play now, right? Play. Bad Hombres, Good Wives. Book, good one. 100 Years of Solitude, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's Marquez, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to seem smart, so.
No, that's cool.
Number three, this one's important to my heart. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
Good. Number four, on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you?
Oh man, I think I'm up there. I'm an 8.
As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
An artist, a visual artist, and it happened.
Understandable. I see it.
Yeah.
Number 6, a quarantinable, binge-worthy Netflix or Hulu or Prime show that you're watching right now that you want to tell the masses to go watch.
Oh yeah, I'm totally into Schitt's Creek right now.
You're wow. I got into a couple of episodes and I have to get back on it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. It's funny. It's just right up my alley. I love it.
All right, number 7 might get me in trouble with your beautiful wife Samantha, but here we go. If your current love life was an emoji or a GIF, what would it be?
I guess a smiling face.
There's a lot of smiling faces that I can choose.
Smiling face with 2 hearts on the
All right, you're playing it
Yeah.
safe. That's fine. I got it. Have you ever? Well, this one's going to be interesting for you because you know you're going to be probably one of the most famous people I talk to. Have you ever Googled yourself?
Yes. 121 pages. Just kidding. I don't know.
Really?
But yeah.
Do you know what
of,
comes out of the top? I'm
I've been
going to do it.
I've been around for, I've been around 35 years. There's a lot of material on me in Google.
Oh my God, did I just lose all my... In talking to you, I literally just lost all my questions right now.
Well, you're going to have to improvise now, dude.
You've been doing this for 35 years.
Actually, I was born in San Francisco. Culture Clash was formed in... Culture Clash, as you know, is my comedy group. Performance group. We were founded in 1984 in San Francisco, and then we moved to LA in 1990, and we lived there, for 25 years, and now I'm down here in San Diego. So I'm slowly going south.
Culture Clash consists of 3 people.
Yes.
So Herbert Siguenza, also Richard Montoya, correct?
Richard Montoya and Rick Salinas, who you know.
Rick Salinas. No, I don't know. So how did you, did you guys go to the same high school? How did you guys meet?
No, this was after college, actually. Like I said, in 1984, we had just gotten out of college, and we were doing community theater. We had little groups. We had our own little teatros. I had a group called Teatro Gusto. Rick had a group called Teatro Latino, and I think Richard had a Zoot Suit dance group or something up in Sacramento. And this guy named Rene Yanez put us together one night. He wanted to do a Cinco de Mayo comedy fiesta. And he just put us together thinking we'd be funny or at least, entertain people. And sure enough, that night was it was an amazing night of comedy from, amateur, rookie people, but people loved it. People loved it. And that's when we formed the group. And
what's funny, and I've been honored to actually meet all 3 of you. Obviously, I know you the best. Met Rick, amazing Rick Salinas during Good Hombres and Bad Wives, and I actually understudied for Richard's show, Federal Jazz Project, I believe 2015. So I got to meet him. All 3 of you are very different people.
We are, and I think that's why it works. I really think, we're very different. We have different methodologies and very different personalities, and I think that's why it works. Because I think if we were to, very similar, I think we'd be, I mean, we have conflicts, of course, but we kind of know where everyone's coming from, so we just let people slide. And I mean, we have a bigger goal. The bigger goal is to create art. So sometimes you got to put the ego, on the outside the door.
And for as long as I've been living and everything, you guys have been creating art. So that's an amazing. Most people don't even get to be on anything that long. So it's just a
36 years in May, man. 36 years, yeah. And we're still performing. I mean, we had a hit show at Berkeley Rep in just a month ago. We were doing a great performance of Culture Clash still in America at Berkeley Rep, and then they came where we had to cancel. We had to postpone the show, cancel the show.
Was this because of COVID-19?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Now
the Bay Area was one of the first places to really lock down.
So one of the things that I love about thinking back to you guys had a Fox show, right?
Yes, in the early 90s, we had a Fox show. It was syndicated, so it wasn't like a national show. It was like in 12 markets, different markets. Yeah, so that was good. That was 2 seasons of that. We did 30 shows. It was awesome. We were the executive producers, so we had a lot of control.
You will always go there when it comes to political humor, or you kind of cross barriers or pseudo walls per se.
Yes. Oh yeah, I think that's the Culture Clash style. Nothing's sacred. Nothing is. Everything is for grabs, and But I think we're basically saying what people are thinking, and then we say it, and people are like, "Oh, thank you for saying that. I've always thought that." And so I think we're just the voice, we're just the mouthpiece for the people, you know. That's what I think it is about. That's why I think we're popular, because we're not afraid to tell the truth, you know.
So was there ever a time in that kind of like those 3 decades where something came up that you goes, maybe we shouldn't touch that, maybe we shouldn't, like, let's stay away? Or has it always been like, guys, we're all in it, we're gonna attack everything from immigration to race to everything?
Yeah, I think we skim, you know, we're right there on that fence, you know, and it takes a trial and error. It's trial and error, you know. We'll say something and people are like, nah, no. So we'll bring it back just a little bit, but we won't eliminate it altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. And have you guys, has either all 3 of you, or have you ever tried any type of stand-up comedy, or were you always kind of a sketch group?
No, we all did stand-up comedy for a little bit. You know, we tried it out in the early '90s and the late '80s. You know, to certain degrees. But basically, we've always been like a sketch group. In the beginning, we were more of a sketch group. Yeah.
So we're in San Francisco. We're in the '90s, and then now fast forward a couple decades, and then what brings you down? So you went down to LA, correct? After that?
Yeah, in LA, we spent a long time in LA, and basically we were LA based. Performed a lot at the Mark Taper Forum. That was kind of our base, but we were a touring group. I mean, for about 8 years there, 10 years, we were always on the road. I was on the road maybe 8 months a year, you know, for about 10 years, performing all over the nation, regionals, universities, colleges. So, you know, it was great, but it was hard. You know, it was hard on our personal life, you know.
Yeah. One of the most amazing, this is what kind of hurts about what we're living today, about being quarantined and not being able to be with friends. And one of my most amazing memories that I'm ever gonna have in anything that I do was a night where most of the cast of Bad Hombres Good Wives, we went to 3rd Avenue and had a beer, and we had you and Rick just chatting, and it literally was like a movie. You guys were just talking about different A-listers that you guys have met and different experiences that you guys have had in those decades of comedy. It was just amazing, because here you have 3 young actors, me counting myself as young, listening to you guys just talk about those days and how we have a lot of memories, the 3 of us, you know. We should hopefully there'll be a movie about us, or we should write a book, first of all, because we were there, you know. We were there when, you know, a lot of things started, you know, when the Latino comedy scene started, you know, and, you know, George Lopez, Carlos Mencias, and, you know, we were good friends with Cheech, and, you know, so those legends too, you know, Santana, you know, we know all those guys, you know. We came up with them. And you guys are still here, which is, again, testament to what you guys do. But now, how does Herbert Siguenza make it down here to San Diego?
Well, I you know, I've had a long relationship with the San Diego rep. I mean, for like 25 years. You know, Sam Woodhouse was the first artistic director to give Culture Clash their first regional theater run, back in the late 80s, back in the early 90s, you know. So I think we've been produced at the rep for about 8 times over the years, you know. We haven't been there lately, but he gave us our first break. And, you know, once a regional produces you, then other ones, you know, other regionals hear about it and they start producing us. So he really started our career in the regional theaters, you know. So I've always had a good relationship with Sam. And so we applied for a grant, the Mellon D, the Mellon Foundation, the William D. Mellon Foundation. They have a playwright in residence program where they pick 12 artists, 12 playwrights around the nation, and pair them up with a regional theater, a nonprofit theater, to develop plays for them. And so San Diego Rep and I basically am the playwright in residence for San Diego Rep. And it's a 3-year grant, and I just got renewed, so it's a 6-year grant for me, and I have 2 more years to go doing this. So Bad Hombres Good Wives was part of that, you know what I'm saying? That I wrote that during my residence.
I feel that you write for people that might not go to theater so much, in the sense that you write kind of like me, like we're not Shakespeare's, we're not like, we write for people to understand and to really have that connection. So how did you go, okay, I'm gonna take Shakespeare and I'm gonna put this in Aslan, this kind of futuristic Mad Max world?
Well, because I like you, I have a difficulty in understanding Shakespeare, and I don't like to go to the theater and sit there and go and feel dumb, You know what I'm saying? I mean, the language is really dense sometimes, and I get frustrated. But yet the stories, when you really break down the stories are really simple and universal. And so I was understudying for Henry IV up in Oregon Shakes. And, just watching the play and more I started understanding it, intimately. And then I go, wow, these guys are like Chicanos, these kings of England are like Chicanos, that are trying to protect their kingdom, or their street, their hood. And so I got the idea of adapting Henry IV to the barrio, to the, and then in this case, it was an apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic barrio, which made it even trippier, And I changed the language, and I didn't want to use Shakespeare language because, I wanted people to understand the story. So I wrote what I know, I wrote it in Caló, meaning English Spanglish, right? And which I think is poetic in itself, And I'm really proud of that piece because I think it's a really faithful translation of the play without losing any of its storyline,
And not only that, you had two brothers that held that cast together in Lakin and Kinan Valdez that I think...
Yeah, legends, yeah. Little did we know we were starting to we're starting to create an ensemble there, right? Because a lot of those actors in that play have become like our ensemble players, right? You, John, Roxanne, me, and Rivas, Dave Rivas. So we're all kind of like, I feel like we created an ensemble after that play. And I keep going back to you guys because I know what you guys can do.
But after that, now, and I know if I'm going to mess up your chronology, so I do apologize, but Steelhaven came out after that, correct?
After, yes. And
yeah.
Steelhaven in 2015, right before before the 2016 election cycle. And I'm really proud of that piece because that piece really predicted predicted all this stuff, predicted a Trump style administration, I predicted this country where it was, run by, super right-wing people and sure enough, it happened.
You got to work with Summer Spiro and a person that has come near and dear to my heart and to your heart, a man named Mark Pinter, correct?
Oh yeah, great actor, yeah. He was so good in this play. He played like 6 roles, He played Julia Childs, he played Einstein, and, he played all the Steve Jobs. I mean, he was just amazing. He was amazing in this play.
So much so that the very next play that you produced at the Rep, Manifest Destinitis, you decided to give Mark the lead as being a Californian
Spaniard, yeah, California Spaniard. Yeah, and he was wonderful in that role. He was just wonderful, And that was a fun. We had Jennifer Paredes and Richard Trujillo. I mean, that was just a fun show.
Theater, and especially, again, now that it's been kind of taken away from us, or at least thrown for a loop, is that in all of my experiences, and I've done other shows at other houses, it was just fun. And the people that we worked with, we were just having fun. And even seeing a Sam Woodhouse as intimidating as some actors and some, he had fun working with us and playing around, and we would just have the most amazing times working, especially Manifest for me personally was a launching because it was just contorting my body and contorting my face in different ways that I didn't know I could do.
Yeah, you're great in that. Well, that's my whole philosophy of theater. If you're not having fun, don't do it, and I don't care if it's a drama, I don't care if it's a comedy. The ensemble has to, get along, we're playing, I don't take theater so seriously where you have to have a bad time or a serious time to do it. I think You know, that joy that we felt backstage was, you know, was on stage as well. And I think people love that, and they can feel that, you know. You can feel when ensembles are tight and, you know, they don't like each other. You can feel it on stage. I can feel it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And every ensemble that we worked with, then fast forwarding to Beach Town, and then last one that we worked on Bad Hombres, it really has now become a family of people that we kind of, it's just, oh, it's not an actor that I worked with, it's, oh, hey, it's Roxanne.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's Richard Trujillo.
That love and energy should just be, you know, organic. It should just go on stage. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, I think, you know.
And to kind of segue a little bit of what we recently saw you at OnStage, actually. So this tiny little theater, and I remember you saying something to James and I regarding OnStage, how intimate, how small it is. So let people know. So last year, OnStage did something for the first time, or one of the first times that they did an original reading of a play called Blue Period, which is a play about Pablo Picasso, someone that you know just a little bit about, right?
Yeah. It's written by a friend of mine called Charles Borges, and he wrote a play called The Blue Period, which is the early years of Picasso in Paris in the 1920s. He had just came from Spain and was, you know, see if he could survive in artistic Paris. And I just love the play, and I just love those times, you know, those bohemian times in Paris, and yeah, we did a reading of it, which you know, I'm so happy OnStage got into it. I knew James would love it, and so I got James and Charles together, and we did a reading last year, and then we did a private reading like 6 months ago, and it looks like OnStage might want to produce it, but you know, who knows when? Now you know that we're on shutdown, but it's a play that I really you know, I just really believe in it, and hopefully I'll be in it as well. I'll be acting in it.
And what this play, actually, what I loved about it so much is you did a one-man show about Picasso, where it shows kind of when he was already, I don't want to say even famous, but when he was more established, correct?
Oh yeah, he was famous already, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this one takes a look at his, quote, blue period, as when he was, I would say, in his mid-20s, I would say maybe even late 20s in France, when they had just moved, and he moved in with his partner, Casagemas, correct?
Right, another Spaniard who came in from Spain with him, and Casagemas was in love with him. You know, I guess he was what they called back then a homosexual, and he had feelings for Picasso, and Picasso, you know, was more into his art than him, and so eventually Casagemas kills himself. He kills himself. One of the first of many people killing themselves over Picasso. You know, two of his mistresses killed themselves over the years too, over Picasso.
Now, so you've had like this loving relationship with Pablo Picasso, and you also played Abby Hoffman, and you seem to gravitate towards these amazingly complex characters with quite some baggage. So what, you know, we're kind of wrapping up here, but what about these types of characters, when you decide to either write about them or play them, what in Herbert's mind kind of brings that, what makes you want to play these types of guys?
Yeah, I like people. 20th century, I think, was a time when there was a lot of game changers. You know what I'm saying? People that really changed the game, and Picasso changed the game. You know, he was the father of modern art. You know, he did away with all the formalism of the 19th century and really reinvented art again. You know what I'm saying? Abby Hoffman was a guy that was you know, people considered him a crazy radical, but you know, when you look at his ideas, when you look at what he was talking about, they're like, you know, what Bernie Sanders is talking about right now. You know, they're mainstream ideas. You know, they're not radical anymore. So these are people that were ahead of their time, and I love people that way. You know, I'm writing a play about Isaac Asimov right now, the science fiction writer, and he's another guy that was, you know, a futurist, a visionary. He saw, you know, he predicted the internet, he predicted telecommunications, the iPhone, all these things. He wrote about them in the stories in the 30s, you know. Back in the 30s and 40s, he was writing about these devices that we would have to communicate with, and, you know, space travel, blah, blah, blah. So all these things are happening. So I like people that are visionary, that are game changers, and that's so, and that have baggage as well.
I think, you know what? Who doesn't? I think you, as an artist, we all need to have that baggage to make it real, so people can empathize with us and see the person on stage or on screen or whatever, and say, oh yeah, you know what? I'm that guy, or I'm like that girl.
Well, that makes you human, and I think that's why people go to the theater, to see humans.
I think that wraps it up.
That wraps it up.
Yeah. From me, on a personal level, obviously you're one of my mentors, and I can't thank you enough for sitting down, or I'm standing because I just want to stand today for this interview. For like you said, bringing San Diego a voice that I was born and raised here, and I had never heard. I had never seen. Even though I'm kind of pale when it comes to my Mexican genealogy, I had never seen characters that like the ones that you have created brought up to stage, and I've been enormously lucky to play some of them. So
thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you created a family.
Thank you.
Of actors here. So anything in the future that you want to, or actually right now, if people watch this, what can we expect from Herbert?
I have, if you go on San Diego Rep's website, I have lunch breaks with Herbert Siguenza. They're just 1 minute videos that I do every day, just talking about whatever, or quoting something, or reading poetry, whatever comes to mind.
All right, cool. And so we're gonna put that on text right there in front, so people can click on that, because obviously this is times when we need to be more human with each other, and that's what we've learned today, because that's all we have left apparently, because I can't even get toilet paper anymore.
Well, you can always use the Mexican way, a corn husk.
Whoa. I'm gonna have to call my abuelita on that one and ask her about Herbert Siguenza, thank you so much for doing Q2Q.
Right,
sorry that we didn't even get to play a game because I screwed up. I messed up. Anyways, Herbert, you get the last word. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And that is it.